you guys looked like you had the lead all the way through, and then all of a sudden you can never count them out.
Yeah, they're tough. I mean, we didn't run a damn thing all night offensively, which was okay when Golden was out there. He's pretty good with the ball and he creates quite a bit with the ball. But as soon as he went down, it looked like a Chinese fire drill. Not that it looked that good in the first three quarters, but I thought in the first half, Shu carried us, did a lot on his own. And I was telling him during a couple of the timeouts, I said, you got to trust your teammates a little bit. We kind of abandoned what we do offensively and just. Maybe we got a little bit of fool's gold early in the game, and kept going back to that stuff. But credit Ketcham. They harassed our guards a little bit, and some of them didn't handle it all that well, especially the guys that came in for Golden. But even when Golden was in there, they harassed him. I think a little bit to the point where maybe they took us out of running some of the stuff that we normally run.
Yeah. Turning point in the game. Can you tell me where you think that was?
I think when Golden fouled out, or when he picked up his fourth foul. When he picked up his fourth foul, we were doing some decent things on the offensive end, I thought anyway. It was nip and tuck. I'm not saying we're going to win the game. It was anybody's game to win, And, credit Ketcham. They made the plays they need to make down the stretch, But when we pulled him with the four fouls and then, like I said, first few guys we put in there to run, the one for us, we didn't get it done. We didn't get it done. I was proud of the way Jeb Ramirez came in the fourth quarter and held his own. He doesn't get a lot of minutes this year, but he just he manned up, and basically that's what it meant. We needed somebody to man up a little bit, and he did.
This is one of those games for seniors where it's tough because it's the last one for Schumacher. How's he feeling? You think? I'll talk to him, but how do you think he's feeling?
I think they're fine. I try to downplay it a little bit. When we playing those guys, I said, you got to keep a moderate level of anxiety. You get too jacked up and you're shot. And I talked to Ryan in the game a little bit. I thought some of their guys were kind of, trying to get into his head a little bit. And I said, listen, that's the only way they're going to compete with you. You've got to be mentally tougher than they are. And, let the refs handle it, and, they'll do their business and you do your business. But I thought for the most part he did a good job. You always worry about these games where some kids just come out and they lay an egg because they're trying too hard, But I didn't see that from either side. I thought it was a fairly competitive game.
How is your team different now than it was when we first talked at the beginning of the season?
Matt Golden's learned how to play point guard at a varsity level. I mean, it's that simple, first half of the year, he'd make a move, go by somebody, go flying in the middle, and just throw the ball, hoping somebody grab it. I mean, he did a few times tonight, but he's gotten a lot better, And as he's gotten better, we've gotten better. And then the other part of it is just starting to trust each other a little bit. We've got some guys that can score, but if we're not trusting each other, we're trying to do too much. It's a problem. And I thought we did that tonight. I don't think we shared the ball or trusted each other as much as we really needed to.
Good job.
All right. Take care. Thanks for coming.
A little bittersweet. This is last time you get to play Ketcham. You start to think as your senior season that last time for this, last time for that.
Yeah, definitely. As the last pink out, it was a good experience. I mean, unfortunately, we didn't come out on top. The great team out there played a great job, but it's definitely a great atmosphere out here, as it always is. It's been past 10 years or so. It's just a thing I've kind of been going to since I was a little kid. And now it's kind of complete, and I'll be back years to come. But it's definitely a good experience.
What was going on with you in the first part of this game? 14 points in the first. It was almost like you couldn't miss no matter where you were shooting from.
Yeah, man, I was really feeling good the first half. My teammates were doing a great job distributing me the ball in great places. Matt Golden was dishing it everywhere, man. Our guys just did a great job, getting me open and everything. Got to give it to the team.
And so what happened in the second half? Was it their defense that started to wear you down, or what was not just you personally, but the whole team?
Yeah, their defense really picked it up. They changed the strategy a little bit. We weren't really expecting as much. They were beginning. They were coming on the ball screens really hard. Now they kind of started to sag off and double down low, which made it a little harder for me down low. And they had a good job coming out in the second half and completing their thing. And with Matt Golden found out, having your point guard go out, it's kind of hard.
What do you see as a senior on this team, the differences between when you guys first got together this year and the way the team looks right now?
Definitely. We've been gelling a lot more, kind of finding out where guys are placing. Like, everyone's kind of figuring out their role now as the season goes on, It's a work in progress as always, but guys are definitely figuring out where we belong, and the team's not too bad.
Surprise for me, maybe not for you, or maybe for you, Justin Long?
Yeah, no, that kid's he's been a great ball player since forever, and you know, he gets his shots up. If he's open, man, he's gonna hit it. He's a good player out there. I mean, he's gonna be great in the next couple of years. He's a good player.
And Coach Fieldy was talking good about Matt Golden, that he's really come into his own as far as being the point guard to run the offense.
Yeah, definitely. Matt Golden's been doing an awesome job running the point. He's really been taking control of the team, and he's quicker than anybody out there. As you can see, nobody can hang with him when it comes off the dribble. And you know, that's as a point guard, that's really helpful to have. And he's looking for his teammates first. You know, it's really important.
Good job.
All right, man. Thank you.
All right, see ya. Little different situation this time around.
Yeah, yeah. It was exactly what we expected. It was a battle. They got some big boys in there, that Schumacher, and he's a tough kid to contain, and he hurt us in the first half. We couldn't stop him in the first half. We made some adjustments, and kids battled. Okay? I mean, they came out of halftime. They were hungry, and just like every Ketcham game, it was a battle, and it was as you saw, it was a rough game.
Yeah. I remember when we talked in the beginning of the season, you were emphasizing defense, and yeah, there were games where I saw it, didn't see it, you know, and I guess this was sort of that kind of game. The first quarter, it really wasn't there, but then the second half, the intensity of your defense really started to show, and the game just started to change automatically, right in front of our eyes.
Right. I have to give a lot of credit to my guards. I asked the guards to do a lot, and they put a lot of pressure on the ball, and like Luke T-Bolt, his intensity, and the kid doesn't shoot a lot. I think he has 4 or 5 shots on the year, but Luke knows what his job is, and his job is to cause a lot of havoc in the backcourt. And there are times I put him out on that island, and I say, "Hey, Luke, man, let's go." And he just tries to make it as tough as possible and try to take teams out of offense as much as possible. And what our guards did with a Luke and a Jimmy, just making their guards work very hard, brought our intensity up on the defense end, and they really set the tone.
How is this team different from when we first talked in the beginning of the season?
We have a lot more confidence on offense. We have some kids that are doing some pretty good stuff on the offense end, and the team has totally bought into the team atmosphere and the defensive effort, and a lot of our offense is coming from defensive stops. We did a great job on the boards tonight, and that led to allowed us to get out and run a little, and when we didn't have that, we set up an offense, and we're running through our offenses much smoother. We're spending a lot more time than we did at the beginning of the year on the offense, and the offenses are running a lot better, and you have a player like Tim or Zaire, or when John's knocking down shots, it makes it tough, and it lets the offense kind of open up and the offense able to execute.